Hello there folks and welcome back to the Neil Robertson Pro Career on Snooker 19. Today is time for part 37 of Season 3 of the series and part 154 of the series as a whole. Now today we do something that we've done quite a lot. We play against Mark Allen. It is quite unbelievable. It is almost a conspiracy theory now that we keep getting drawn against the pistol so often. We've played against him 6 times already this season. In the last calendar year, we've played against him 7 times. We played against him in the Daffabet Masters last season. It's absolutely unbelievable. So let's have a look at our record against Mark Allen. Now, we played him 3 times in Season 1. We played him in the Northern Ireland Open, Daffabet Masters and Betfred World Championship. We beat him once, but in the 2 biggest matches, we lost against him. However, in the next 3 matches we played against him, all in Masters tournaments, funnily enough, we won all of them. We played him quite recently, though, in the International Championships and in the Champion of Champions, and have been knocked out by Mark Allen there. But a really good performance by us in the last 16 of the UK Championship led to a 6-1 win against Mark Allen. So today it is time for the Scottish Open semi-final. We'll play the first 4 frames in today's episode, and then in the next episode we will see the climax of the match. Now, we nearly whitewashed Mark Allen in the last match we played against him. We went 5-0 up. He did bring 1 frame back, but apart from that 1 frame, we were dominant against Mark Allen. So let's see what Mark Allen turns today. As I said, we've played against him lots of times this season, so it's amazing, really. It was Mark Selby last year that was the man that we used to play a lot, but it seems now it's a different Mark. It's Mark Allen. But it is quite unbelievable how often we keep getting drawn against him. Now, you would think that it would probably be either Judd Trump or Mark Selby awaiting us in the final if we got there. There is Mark Allen, and ourselves going to be waving to the audience. And there will be a trophy presentation at the end of the tournament if we win it, which is all well and good. But just to remind you guys who might be coming in and haven't watched an episode of the Scottish Open yet, we won this tournament 2 years ago, and the snooker rankings work on a 2-year system. So if we don't win this tournament this year, we will lose some money. So we've got to win that just to keep our 70,000 on the ranking events. Now, I looked last year, I looked at Season 1, and I believe we beat Mark Williams in the semi-final of that season. That's a brilliant break-off to start us off. A little bit of luck there, but brilliantly behind the brown. We beat Mark Williams in the semi-final in Season 1. We beat him in the quarterfinal. So Mark Williams has lost a little bit of money, but not massive, possibly about £5,000 potentially. But that was a great snooker from us, and that is a potting chance early on here. Played very well against Mark Williams. A victory of 5 frames to 2. Best of 9, of course. It does go up slightly in the number of frames here to a best of 11, but it's nothing that we're not used to. Certainly in that UK Championship, we got plenty of practice. We played once against Mark Allen in a best of 11, and then, of course, we got knocked out by Barry Hawkins in that best of 11. But as I've said, really, it all depends on what version of Mark Allen turns up to today's match. You don't really seem to get any in between Mark Allen. He's either really on form or he's just not. But number 3 in the rankings, he's won, I think, 6 tournaments in the last 12 months. He'll be eager to get that total up. I think that he's probably the lead tournament man for the last 12 months, actually. He's won 6 tournaments. I think Selby and Trump have both won 5. And because Mark Williams is on really good form, he just about trails those guys with 4 tournaments. But we're on 3 tournaments in the last 12 months at least, so that's good to see. The only shame is, of course, when it comes to the rankings, is that they're all invitationals apart from the snooker shootout. Won the Daffabet Masters, of course. That'll be the next tournament. That'll be a lot to look forward to. We'll be defending our title.
He's playing for the right corner here.
And this season has gone so quickly already. It's amazing, really, that we're already nearly at the halfway stage.
19.
Could do with getting close to the cushion here. It's not fantastic.
24.
Let's just have a look at these reds, see what they're like. Because obviously after this one we're going to have to go for one of them, probably. That red will go. Okay, the one that we've just focused on there. So, nice and soft here. The issue is... Okay.
He's taking on the pot along the cushion.
Focus on the pot first. We've got that.
No
Decent
problem with
position on the
red
blue. Not really great, though.
25.
Again, that was my problem originally. I wanted to get bulk side of the blue so we could go into the red. So we're going to have to get a little bit inventive here. You know what? I'm just going to call it there, I think, for this frame. Sorry, not this frame, this break. I'm not going to concede the frame, don't worry. But I'm just going to attempt to get this cue ball up behind the yellow ball here. That's not bad at all. That puts Mark Allen in a little bit of trouble. And we've got off to a decent start with a break of 25. And if he opens up the reds here, that wouldn't be bad. Well, he actually... Oh, I didn't realise he hit the pink first.
And it hasn't worked out for him at all.
Foul and a miss.
Well, I'm going to play on.
6.
Take the red on here.
play on here.
There are a few options. Certainly not at the moment, but if we come from the other side, there's certainly options. So we'll play the red. Screw back up for the blue. This is a tricky red though, a bit dangerous to hit it at pace, but it's gone in. That could have very easily gone sour.
To take on a colour here.
But I think very much the right decision to play the safety there. We would have struggled to get on another red and made much more out of that break, whereas Mark Allen's just given us a chance to do that. So, as I said, I think that's a good idea. Just looking, if we play this red now and maybe go for the pink, because the red I'm looking for next is this second one. I don't know if okay. Let's not bother taking too much of a risk. Let's go for the blue. Then we can go from there. Just tap the pink on the way through. That's not going to hurt. It might do actually though. I'm going to play this and see if we're positioned for the red. This could be a little bit of luck or potentially being unlucky here.
That's a wonderful, wonderful pot.
So this is the red I was looking at. It's not the best angle. Not positioned it brilliantly, but it should be okay. Great pot. Just do with the red not snookering us and we're okay.
14.
That's certainly fine. My worry is a bit of a lack of options though here, I have to say. Not quite straight on this switch, even if we're playing the red to the middle pocket, causes a bit of spot of bother. So, I'm going to play with some top, come off the cushion, and hopefully we can line up... Need it a little bit harder than that, I think. Hopefully we can line ourselves up for the red to the middle. And it looks pretty good to me.
16.
Not been the cleanest break so far, but it's certainly been okay.
Position looks good for a colour.
Not quite got the position I wanted on the blue. So, green it is. Even with that, it's a little bit of a problem. Interesting. What the hell's that? Is that my cue? Yeah. Right. Interesting. Apply the black. The brown instead here. Oh, we've hit the yellow on the way through. We didn't want to do that. That's annoying.
21.
Running out of options though. And rather annoyingly, I think this red that we're pointing at with the aiming aid now would have gone if we wouldn't have played it like that. But I think we're just going to take a thin nick off this red, closest to the black, get back up to bulk, and we shouldn't leave too much here. That looks okay to me.
Neil Robertson.
So 75 left on the table, so Mark Allen can definitely come back in this frame. Well, I think he might well have got away with that. I don't know. It might well have been the shot he was planning to take on. I'm not sure. But it's very rare that you play that sort of shot where you don't hit them going back down the table and then coming back up to bulk you hit it. But this is a risk. Risky potting chance here. We've missed it by a mile.
Close, but
Wow.
not quite close enough.
Potentially a risk not worth taking there, because Mark Allen now has a chance. I say the dog's in full voice today. We've rarely had that recently.
Six.
Let's close the window, shall we? Can still hear her as well. Oh dear. Anyway. Oh, what's he gone for there? Presume he's gone for the pot on the red. For some reason the camera angle didn't acknowledge that, but he did. He split all the others while he's at it. So none of these particularly easy to get to.
14.
Apart from the one he's just positioned himself for. They're not in the optimum positions. But if he keeps his head, he will steal this frame from us, which we didn't really, I wouldn't say work hard nothing, but we didn't give ourselves a chance. It's not been a fluent frame anyway. I think I meant to say fluid, not fluent. Idiot. So just 2 reds to go.
21.
And then he's on to the colours. What's he going to play here? Going for the brown, interesting. Lines himself up. Ooh. Not so nicely for that red, but he might well go for the one to the corner pocket here. No, he's just playing the safety. He's hit the brown on the way through. And where's the cue ball going? Well,
Very costly.
Mark Allen's gone in off, and I think we've just about got away with this.
Neil Robertson. 4.
Because
playing
red
from this position.
and a colour, as long as it's not green or yellow, and it'll be snookers required.
1.
I think we got away with that. Goodness me.
He just needs the pink.
And the pink's there. Okay, position on the red's not great, but doesn't really matter, does it?
7.
Oh, nearly got the double there. He might well come back to the table to try and get a snooker, but 38 behind, 35 remaining. He's probably going to come back here. But, well, not really much of a response, and that red will pretty much confirm it.
1.
And it's been a topsy-turvy frame. One you might well argue we didn't deserve to win, but ultimately we were in first. We made a
That's a top shot.
decent
Well played.
chance of what we had, but
He's aiming
Mark
for the
Allen
corner here.
has been a little bit sloppy there. I genuinely thought he had a chance. It's not the best shot from us. But again, it doesn't really matter, does it, at this point?
6.
Won't hurt to get some tight pocket practice, though.
Green ball.
Looks a little bit off to me. Oh, it's dropped. What a shot.
9.
So, equally as hard with the brown here. Again, won't hurt to get some training in this.
Half a chance.
Wouldn't usually go for the pot in the usual game, but this looks pretty good as well. Well, that's not bad at all, is it? Not bad at all.
13.
And as long as our potting game is good, then we just have to rely on our position being pretty good, and we've got a good chance. That wasn't the cleanest on the blue, but it still dropped.
Outstanding. Superb pot.
18.
And the pink's there. And for the albeit small clearance here, a break of 31. And the black's there. And that rounds out the first frame, which, again, I think we're a little bit lucky to win, but nevertheless, it's one frame to us.
And that
And on to Mark Allen so far. So the pistol to break in this second frame.
Frame gap, and will be looking to apply some pressure on his opponent in this frame.
Needs to be a little bit slicker this frame, I think. I think we struggled a little bit there.
I think he'll be looking to push on here.
But nevertheless,
You. The second frame.
it was a scrappy frame. We got the better of Mark Allen. That's the positive there, definitely. Left a half chance here on this red, but I don't fancy going for it personally.
chance, but a chance nonetheless.
And this might well pot here, but just going to... Nope, it's not potted, but it's okay because it's come back up to the group. But that one red that is on the nearest to the side cushion, he might well have a go at this. I'd probably advise against it, but there's certainly a chance for it. Maybe a little bit close to the yellow. Then it might be okay. But he's going for the pot. And, well, lo and behold, that's a brilliant pot.
Opening red.
Overdone slightly on the black, which means he's got to really whack into these reds, you would think, here now. Which he has to an extent, but he's not really been rewarded for his positive play there. And he's just played a safety. Well, could be wrong, but don't really think that was a great plan.
This is really tricky.
This is certainly a chance for us.
What a tremendous pot.
Just need this to pull up to get on the black.
1.
Just nice and delicate here. Try and get it on the cushion for either of these reds.
8.
That's okay. This is awkward here because you've got to try and get on the black. Don't want to go in off at the same time though, so... I don't really fancy that, to be quite honest. This might be a better chance. Not so straight, this one.
Along the cushion.
Yeah. I mean, not great still,
9.
but I think certainly better than we would have been. But we're going to take the blue one here. It's fairly straight. Again, you've just got... I just like to err on the side of caution sometimes with the black. Because we know that blue is so potable.
14.
But it'd be interesting to see the change in everyone's strategies for Snooker 20, wouldn't it? If all of a sudden they made that blue a lot harder to get to.
No problem there.
But it's just the nature of the aiming age, really. It's not any fault with the game necessarily. At least I don't think so, anyway. Tight space to get in for this red. Just got to make sure we are careful with this side, because it's not quite straight. That's okay. We'll take that. Go for one of these two reds we're closest to as well. That's a secondary option here. But no, we'll go for the red we were originally playing for. It's fine. There we go. A little bit too close to the side cushion though.
22.
So, we're going to have to play for this red on the black cushion.
29.
But luckily, it's a little bit better position this time. Just got to hope the pocket's kind. Which it is. You're going at it at pace, which sometimes struggles to go in.
30.
Well, that red there goes, but I don't quite think we can get to it, can we? Could do. Let's see. I think that red second in on this bunch of 5 will go here. Yeah, it certainly does. Smart shot. Nice shot. Good stuff. And that little cannon on the pink makes it potable to the middle. Also puts the pink back on its spot, which is a little bit of an issue, I guess. Ooh, that's just about dropped him. We got a bit lucky there. Try and get to the other side of this black, I think. But we're doing okay. We're accumulating the points here.
45.
We've certainly got a decent chance to make this 2-0. Does this red go? Just checking it passes the other one. I think it does. Always worth a check though. Yes, it does. Excellent. Black's there. It's the first element of that shot, and we're nicely off the cushion. The one problem I always come up against is that it seems that the shots are quite close to the side cushion, which means that my preferred use of the backspin
53.
and bottom on the cue ball, it becomes a little bit awkward. This will go to the middle, so you know what? Exactly what I'm going to play for. Just don't want to interrupt that pack of reds because it could go very wrong, and I think at this stage of the frame it's just worth tapping away. I mean, this isn't the best position, but it looks okay. Get the position for the black as well. The pot should be okay.
Tough shot coming up.
It is a tough shot, I agree. Underdone it, I think, a little bit, if anything, but oh, we get the look of the draw and it just about drops. Excellent.
61.
I don't think anything else goes here. We're not going to be that lucky, so just try and move at least one red. Yep. I think, well, do these two not go then? They don't, do they? Well, there's 5 reds left, so what's that? 43. So there's 67 on the table, so it is at the snooker's required stage here. But we've left ourselves a little bit of an awkward shot, particularly with this red being so close to. But actually, there might be a little bit of a favour for us. Might be come at an advantage. Can just play off the side of this red. And he might well fancy the one on the cushion, but it could go wrong.
Robertson,
but remember, he does... Oh, well... Of course. I forgot that Mark Allen had got a pot beforehand. Completely forgot that. I took a few pots, so it's not at snooker's required. And he's nearly played a very good shot there, but this is a chance to close off the frame. And a great red. As I said, our potting game has been pretty good recently. And that takes it officially now to snooker's required. No, I completely forgot Mark Allen had took those first couple of pots. That was a bit of a gamble because the cue ball could well have gone in there.
3.
This isn't easy.
Just going to check if this red goes, because it might not do. Ooh, I think it does just about. Doesn't matter if not. I don't think he'll come back to the table now. But what a pot that is from there. Well, if you can play the long pots well, then it's just your safety, really, that's going to get in your way. But a great start here against Mark Allen. Take a 2-frame lead. It's always a positive start knowing that at the mid-session interval you're at least going to be level. Meanwhile, Mark Allen is going to be fairly uncomfortable at the fact that he's got to win the next 2 frames in order to take it to 2 each at the mid-session interval.
Aiming for the centre pocket here.
Our long pots to this corner pocket have been a bit skewy though recently, so we'll give this a try. This is a never easy pot, but it looks okay. Ooh, well, that's unfortunate, but it's definitely frame over now, and it's 2-0.
Well played to take that frame.
It's been quite a good start for us, hasn't it? It'd be great to extend that advantage, but let's just think 1 frame at a time.
Thank you. The 3rd frame.
Let's not get too disheartened if Mark Allen wins a frame back. I think that's the main thing here. Another good break-off. Certainly not as good as the one in our first frame. And I think he might well have a chance on the red. I don't know if the brown covers it. I think it does. Let's draw a line on my screen. Yeah, I think it does. Yeah. It's just playing up to the reds though here. Peculiar sort of shot. And it's, well, not really worked.
Poor shot, really.
Tricky pot along the cushion here.
Not really sure what he was doing there.
That was a quality
But anyway,
shot.
we're in for the third time. I've got absolutely... well, the AI do play some wild safety on this game sometimes. Some rather strange shots. That bloody dog.
8.
Getting all excited now, clearly because we're back in again. That red doesn't go, so this makes this pot all the more harder. We're actually lining up for this one originally. But as you can see, it's not quite gone to plan.
Playing for the middle pocket.
I think it's there though. Just depends whether this cannon's worked. It hasn't. Not to line ourselves up for the black, unfortunately, at least. But what that does get rid of is one red, so this one, oh, it's tight, but I think it just about goes
Right up his street.
after the blue.
Well, an
I've overhit that though, so that makes things awkward, but it will go to the other pocket, I suppose.
14.
It will go to that other corner. Actually an easier shot. Using the rest, and it's there.
He's got a real chance here.
It's a good split though. Had to play that with some power to get out of there.
15.
So we got a chance to at least pot a few more reds here. Let's take the green. It'll be a tricky long pot from here, but I think it's probably worth taking on. But that cannon on the brown has helped us a little. Made the angle a little bit less acute.
This won't be easy.
Great shot and a good split, but it's a good split. But where's the pot going to come from here? Where is the pot going to come from? Where we can just see the pink. Oh, well. Talk about high stakes. And it plays for an element of safety.
well, he's taking it on.
Let's have a look. What a pot. Excellent. As I said, play it with an element of safety. I mean, sure, he probably would have been in on a red, but it was worth playing it like that, I think. I'll tell you something, we didn't half get away with that. Never a fan of these pots, actually, because could leave ourselves in some trouble here. So we're going to have to just give it a whack. Fairly confident of the pot.
That's just magnificent.
It's just about trying to get out of there, and we have done. We've brought the pink with us,
Ideal position.
which I don't know whether that's a positive or a negative, particularly at this point. I think the blue might well go to the corner pocket. Then we can position ourselves a hell of a lot better on a red.
Corner.
That looks good as long as it's got the legs. Certainly got the line, and it has got the length.
Down it goes.
Excellent.
Brimming with confidence and on a bit of a roll at the moment.
This certainly is a bit of a roll. Still scratching my head a little bit at the shot that Mark Allen was attempting, to be quite honest, at the start of the frame. One I don't think I've ever seen played on Snooker 19. Not that I can remember anyway in recent memory. Just, I kind of played up to the reds and tried to get on the top cushion, which I guess would have been a smart move, but, I mean, you could see that
Taking this red on.
red was on the black cushion, so he was always going to leave a potential chance on that, which just makes it bizarre that he went for it, but he's gone for it. It's gone wrong, and as you can see, we've got a chance to make it 3-0. Again, I like to rely on the backspin, so I'm just going to play the yellow here. We had got a little bit of side on that, so I removed that. Remove any chance of making an unnecessary mistake.
Queuing extremely well here.
40.
But Mark Allen's not had a hell of a lot of table time yet, has he? Poor guy. Try for the black now.
Position looks good for a colour.
41.
Not easy, this. But it's there. Great shot.
Nicely played onto a red.
Just got to keep chipping away.
48.
Keep our focus. And we should be 3-0 up. Try and get some sort of split on these.
That's a really good split.
And that is some sort of split anyway. I mean, again, I don't know what Neil Folds categorises as a good split, because I've had many splits that I think have been better than that. And Neil Folds said, oh, well, the balls haven't really split too much there. It's not necessarily about whether the balls split too much. A good split is surely based on whether the balls are potable. And this is certainly a potting chance, but my God, it's an awkward one. But it's there. But that was tricky. That could have gone very wrong.
57.
So, colour and red required. Yep, got the colour. Nice use of the cannon there. This should be a simple tap into the middle pocket. Easy as you like.
Just the red needed here.
And barring snookers, we've made a brilliant start to this semi-final. 3-0 up.
That should be it.
Very much going in a similar vein to our UK Championship match against Alan. You would have thought in a match with higher stakes that he would have been a little bit more awake, but ever since he had that chance of potentially winning the first frame, he's been a little bit asleep. He's not really done much, has he? He's spent a lot of time in his chair. That's not anything I'm going to moan about particularly. Chance to make our first century here of the match.
That's a great pot.
71. $78.
I mean, 3-1's always a nice lead, isn't it, going into that interval, but 4-0 would be brilliant. So we're guaranteed one of those two. But I think at 4-0, I wouldn't say it signs Mark Allen off completely. But, I mean, well, just put it this way, if you were a betting man, you wouldn't put your money on Mark Allen at 4-0 down, would you, to make a comeback? Because what you're asking a player to do at 4-0 down is to go and win the next session 6-1 or 6-0.
This pot into the right corner.
And after... Oh, unlucky. Just about missed the century there, Vinning off. Unfortunate. But oh well. Brings the frame to an end at 3-0. But if you lose a session 4-0, you're hardly going to come back and win the next one 6-1. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be tempting fate here, look like an absolute pillock. But the best thing Mark Allen can do for his chances is get a frame on the board before the interval. To be honest, I'm not too bothered about Mark Allen's chances. He's left us certainly a half chance from this break-off.
No more than half a chance here.
Oh, we didn't want to do that. That's rather annoying.
Worked out at all.
No, it hasn't.
1.
Well, oh well. That bloody red bean there has been a right pain. I don't think I've ever played anything like this, but I'm just going to hit the black and then get the cue ball to screw back. I mean, it's not the worst safety in the world. It certainly leaves a pot to the middle, but from there it was going to be tricky to get any sort of safety. So we took the chance. It's always a risk because there was a very low margin for error to get on the black. Very tight space between that pack of reds and the black, and it hasn't quite worked. So let's see what Mark Allen can do with his chance.
Aiming for the right centre here. 1.
It is ridiculous, isn't it, how much we're playing him at the moment.
8. 9. 16.
I don't know how the rankings will show. Well, if we win this tournament, obviously we're going to keep our 70 grand. You wouldn't expect many people to lose much money. But equally, it's damage limitation here. If we lose, we could cost ourselves 50,000 at this stage. I think we've won 20 grand for getting into the semis. And I think it's 30 for being a finalist. So it's still a massive gulf between being a finalist and winning the tournament. But a £70,000 cheque is always nice, but the main thing on this career mode we're looking for and focusing on is the rankings. Especially at the moment, we are struggling a little. But get through this tournament and do well, then because we haven't really done much in the other ranking tournaments in Season 1, we should have a chance. But this is already, I think if I'm right, the 10th ranking tournament of Season 3.
And the cue ball has finished very
Which is
nicely.
amazing, really.
26.
But he started decently here. He's got a break of 33. 5 reds so far, soon to be 6. But he's still got to split these to
34.
win this frame. Certainly in this visit, anyway. So they're just playing the last loose red. After that, he's very much going to have to split them.
Very well.
Well,
41.
I don't think he particularly did. He hasn't played that very well because, well, where's his potting chance coming from now?
48.
Bizarre went for the... Well, what's this? What on earth is this?
Mark Allen, 48.
I mean, okay. Bizarre. We could make a compilation of Mark Allen's bizarre shots so far from this match. We could make a compilation very easily of my bizarre shots from the career mode, but you get my point. There's been some very weird shots Mark's played.
1.
But we're sort of 46 behind. There's still 6 reds on the table, so more than a
Just wants to
few
sink this
scoring
into the
opportunities here.
corner pocket.
So if we keep our focus, we could very much go in at 4-0 still. When,
Attempting
I think,
sink
to be
this
honest, I think all of us thought that
Excellent.
Mark Allen would take his chance.
This looks pretty simple.
I don't know what on earth that sound is outside. That's not the dog now. It's like a machine going. I don't know.
Nicely positioned for the red.
Right, let's keep our focus rather than talking about dogs and noises and all that. It's when I tend to miss an easy shot.
13.
So with this pink, 4 reds left on the table.
19.
So with 59 remaining, we're 28 behind. Just take this a red and a colour at a time.
20.
I have to play the blue again because the black doesn't pass the other red. Sorry, play the pink, not the blue. I think I'm so used to playing the blue that it's just too common for me to say that. If we get a little bit further down, we won't be able to play the red, so that's a bummer. So we're going to have to come in through from this side.
He's looking at the pot into the left centre. Well,
Got to get close enough to this though, and that looks okay.
Wonderful pot.
So there's just
Outstanding
one
effort.
difficult red after this,
33.
which is going to be a little bit of an issue, but hopefully not too much.
straightforward.
Depends on our position here, really. Which isn't fantastic on anything.
34.
Okay. I think we play the yellow. We're pretty good at these shots, and we can get the backspin required to certainly set up a long pot for the red. It's a good shot, but where's the cue ball going to end up? That's come off the cushion and actually ended up into a pretty decent position. I can be happy with that.
36.
This, though, by no means easy.
he's aiming to sink this into the right corner.
But it's there.
That's an
So on to the colours we go.
He seems full of confidence at the moment.
And we've got a very real chance now of going into the mid-session interval. In this best of 11, remember, first to 6 frames. And we look like we're going to take 4 frames just in this session.
42.
Only the colours remaining.
So that gives us a magnificent chance of getting to the Scottish Open final. Our first final since Shanghai. And our first ranking event final since the Gibraltar Open of last year. So plenty at stake still in the second session, so I recommend you watch it. We could, well, capitulate. Mark Allen could come out firing on all cylinders.
Nicely on the blue. This is an impressive comeback in this frame.
I agree.
Yeah,
I thought he was
that's
dead buried in
Brown
the frame,
did
but he
lead,
really
mean
has
that we've got the
shown
lead,
some
and
points.
rather annoyingly we've
51.
overcooked it on the blue a little bit, which means that this pink is by no means easy. No means a cert.
56.
But just this pink needed, so no real need to focus on position on the black particularly, just focus on the pot.
Just the pink needed here.
And it's there. As I said, no focus on position, which, as I said, didn't matter. But what a session this has been. What a fantastic session this has been. Wowzers. That frame definitely our best because we come back in quite spectacular circumstances there. And at the mid-session interval, we lead by 4 frames to 0.
And through the 5th frame, Neil Robertson to break.
Starting to think this is definitely deja vu here. Not even just playing Mark Allen, but the scoreline. We went in at the mid-session interval at the UK's with a lead of 4 frames to 0. And we won the match by 6 frames to 1. So we've got a really good chance at this point of getting into the final of the Scottish Open. The rankings look like this, so I mean, if you would expect potentially some players to lose a little bit of money if they got to maybe the quarter-final. Only got to the last 16 rather than the quarter-final. But seeing as we're so far behind Luca Brissell, we're certainly not going to make any gains in that this year. But if we do lose our 70 grand, I mean, if we go out, I mean, even at the final, we lose 40,000. We will pretty well be in 14th for the next tournament. So we'll have the Staffordbet Masters, then the German Masters. I mean, the season ends so quickly. I mean, it's quite incredible, really. After the Daffabet, we've got, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 ranking events left, but that can go really quickly. One of those, of course, including the shootout. But we'll get there when we do, I suppose. So that's a long way away, hopefully, yet. And I'll be back in the next few days with the second part of this semi-final. So if you've enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like down below, comment your thoughts as well, and subscribe for regular Snooker 19 content on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on a Sunday, all at 6 PM. Hit that notification bell as well to get notifications when this and all of my other videos are released. But thank you very much for your company. Remember, during these tricky times, to continue to stay safe and take care of yourselves. But until the next time, thank you for your company today, and I will see you all later. Goodbye for now.